On the news at 1, President Tinubu back to Abuja after attending extraordinary joint Arab-Islamic summit. FCT Minister in Sabori Road project.
Governance is inclusive, provision based on construction, be transparent.
And correspondent takes a look at the 2024 World Pneumonia Day.
One of the ways of preventing pneumonia is actually a very active immunization.
Hello there, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the news desk of Nta Channel 5 Abuja at 1. My name is Stacey Omiri with the details. President Bola Tinubu is back in Abuja after attending the extraordinary joint Arab-Islamic summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which focused on the current situation in the Middle East.
The presidential airplane touched ground at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 8 o'clock this Tuesday evening. He was received on arrival by a delegation of top government functionaries led by Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila. The president joined other heads of state and government of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the League of Arab States who attended the one-day summit. At the summit on Monday, President Tinubu called for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza, acknowledging that the conflict has persisted for far too long, inflicting immeasurable suffering, and expressed deep concern on the humanitarian conditions in Gaza. Reiterating Nigeria's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, President Tinubu affirmed the country's support for a two-state solution where both Israeli and Palestinians can coexist in security and dignity. He called for the establishment of a dedicated secretariat to implement the resolutions of the summit and urged the leaders to mandate a select heads of government to canvass support globally and oversee the implementation of the summit resolutions. After the summit, President Tinubu also had an audience with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Details of the discussion is yet to be known.
And from bilateral ties, let's take a look at infrastructure. Now, ahead of the planned inauguration of the ongoing emergency road construction in the area councils, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wiki has inspected the Sabari Road project to ascertain the level of work. Onoze Yakubu brings us up to speed with the minister's inspection visit.
The Saburi Road construction is one of the ongoing emergency road projects across the 6 area councils of the territory that have been earmarked for inauguration in December this year. It is on this premise that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wiki inspected the project to see things for himself. The construction work has reached an appreciable level of completion, but not without encumbrances.
Provision of infrastructure and other things are all inclusive of governance. Providing security is also governance. Making sure that people have quality education is also part of governance. Being transparent is also part of good governance. So governance is inclusive of provision based on construction, being transparent, providing quality of education. All these we are doing as part of good governance.
The minister, however, discloses that Abuja is a work in progress with more critical infrastructure to be provided in line with the renewed hope initiative of the president. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
With the change in narratives on project execution, Abuja, the nation's capital, is now evolving in infrastructure development as obtainable in other developed countries of the world. In this background report, correspondent Onoze Yakubu again takes a look at the economic impact of critical infrastructure being provided by the Nyesom Wiki-led administration, which harps on the renewed hope initiative of the president.
Available statistics indicate that the components of developed cities like London, New York, Beijing, and Shanghai, among others, are improved infrastructure that enhance the socio-economic well-being of the people. In Africa, Abuja, the nation's capital, has been acclaimed the fastest growing capital city. This can be attested to with the change in narratives on infrastructure development. Good road network stakeholders believe is a catalyst to improve infrastructure development.
Infrastructure development is not just the foundation upon which economies are built. It is the lifeblood of national progress. In a rapidly urbanizing world, infrastructure, particularly in urban centers like Abuja, is crucial to fostering sustainable development, enhancing economic growth, and improving the well-being of our citizens.
From the city center to the area councils and satellite towns, the Wiki-led administration is marching west with action with the construction and upgrading of city and rural roads.
Starting from Ahmadu Bello Way, where you need to come in, and incidentally at the intersection of where the future bus terminal for the FCT is coming to be on ground. This and a couple of other network of roads within the Mabushi is aimed at opening up district infrastructure in Mabushi for rapid development, along with that in other adjoining districts of Katambe, Jahi, and Kado districts.
City developers say the Abuja master plan is a working document that needs to be reviewed to meet the current reality of development. The theme for the 2024 celebration is Youth Climate Change Makers, catalyzing local action for urban sustainability. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Onoze. From infrastructure, let's shift attention to agriculture. Now, to catch them young and equip the pupils and students with practical aspects of agriculture that can help them become self-reliant and not wait for white-collar jobs in future, the FCT Universal Basic Education Board organized the 2021-2020 Agricultural Exhibition for primary and junior secondary schools in the FCT. Mariam?
Agriculture is said to be the biggest investment in any nation. Therefore, this exhibition brought together these young ones that have been trained with the needed knowledge of agricultural science and have taken time to plant and harvest this food produce. Representative of the acting executive chairman, FCT Universal Basic Education Board, Jacqueline Amasike, says it is a delight to see what the schools have produced, re-emphasizing that it will make the young ones independent.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they must go into agriculture as a profession, but no matter what they're doing in life, they can still do it on the side, and that even applies to us, not just the learners, the students. This actually motivates people.
Assistant Agric Dex Officer, FCT Universal Basic Education Board, Wilfred Samson in Chitiwa, reveals that a token was disbursed to the schools to support the production process.
The money was given according to the enterprise. We have animal production and we have arable farming. That of animal production, the amount is up to 800,000 naira. While going to the crop production, the money was about 750,000 naira.
The young ones who were overjoyed say with the practical knowledge in agriculture, they can contribute their quota to the growth of the country.
I graduate, I don't have a job. I can engage in animal rearing and planting of crops.
It helps us in knowledge, future, and managing in our lives.
And my advice to people out there is that they shouldn't move away from this practical subject, that it's going to help a lot of people.
Awards were presented to the schools that distinguished themselves in the area of productivity. The event is the second edition of the program. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. After the break, we have more reports.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
on the news.
On the news at 7.
Jama'a barkamu da wannan
The news station Nta Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Thank you for staying tuned. The Chartered Institute of Development Studies and Administration of Nigeria has inducted 54 new members into the institution to foster professional excellence that will light Nigeria's path towards meaningful and lasting progress. Sandra Akeme reports that this was at the national conference held in Abuja.
The conference tagged Effective and Sustainable Development in an Emerging Economy, the Nigerian Experience, according to the Governing Council of the institution, thrives as a key player on the global stage, thereby balancing rapid growth with sustainable practices that safeguard the environment, promote social equity, and strengthen the economic resilience.
We had our induction last year, but this is the very first conference we're putting together to be able to discuss and chart the course of the institute forward.
This is the beginning of the journey. We are bringing them under the umbrella, and they will train in Nigeria.
The membership is open to everybody, at least who has a bachelor's degree. The induction for today is actually meant to induct people into membership for onward movement to the training process.
My challenge in the lecture to CITSAN was that they should ensure that they mobilize membership from across all of these sectors. And then thirdly, to call their attention to the fact that what we have suffered over the years is not the paucity of professionals, but the paucity of leaders that are development-minded.
So that's what CISAN has come to do. We are calling on everybody to join hands in your little space. Let us develop Nigeria and make it a better place.
As part of the institution's duty to equip members, experts, policymakers, and young professionals with the tools to navigate challenges through training programs, inductees express readiness in developing the country.
We need to develop in different ramifications. So now we have just started small. We intend to expand it. I really urge that everyone should key into this platform so that we lift Nigeria greater.
Happy to be inducted today to this institute. And I'm happy to state that I will do my best to help in developing this nation.
CITSAN solicits partnership with government agencies, the private sector, academics, and the civil society with a view to building an inclusive and sustainable future. In Abuja, Sandra Akeme, NTA News.
Let's talk health. As Harmattan set in, allergies such as cough, shortness of the breath, difficulty in breathing, and chest pain or fever can be triggered. Now, experts say these might just be symptoms of pneumonia in you, your child, or anyone experiencing them, which can only be verified in the clinics. As the world focuses its attention on these leading causes of death among children and the elderly, the need for urgent control through timely detection and treatment is emphasized. Ramata Abdullahi tells us more.
Pneumonia, experts say, is a serious, potentially life-threatening lung infection disease that is caused by viruses, bacteria, and fungi transmitted from one person to another. It is said to be the killer of under 5 children and adults, accounting for more than 2 million deaths in 2021, according to the Global Burden of Diseases. A consultant pulmonologist, Dr. Owolade Sunday, says the disease is treatable and can even be prevented if certain precautions are taken.
One of the ways of preventing pneumonia is actually a very active immunization, especially in children. So there are immunization against the pneumococcal infections, and against the Haemophilus infections, against the viruses, and which help to build their immunity against the infections. And then elderly people too are also qualified to take those immunizations, especially the pneumococcal vaccination. In addition, Adequate diet with rich in fruits and vegetables are also very good in preventing pneumonia infection, in preventing infection generally. It is also proper to encourage that smoking weakens the lung and increases the risk of somebody developing pneumonia.
The theme of this year's World Pneumonia Day is Every Breath Counts. Stop pneumonia in its track, emphasizing the need to control pneumonia through timely detection and treatment. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The world can be a better place for all to live in if the inhabitants will be all kind to each other and each other's keeper. This came to the fore as correspondent Rosemary Mortile Bilal interacted with stakeholders even as the world observes and celebrates International Day of Kindness.
The International Day of Kindness was first introduced in 1998 by the World Kindness Movement, an event held annually to offer an opportunity to highlight good deeds in the community thread of kindness as a way of encouraging people to perform international acts of kindness to foster a culture of compassion and generosity. It also aims to inspire individuals, connect nations, create a kinder world to commit acts of kindness dedicated to promoting goodwill, empathy, as well as serving as a reminder of the positive impact that kindness can have on individuals, community, and the world at large. Why is kindness important, especially in Nigeria?
We need to show more kindness. A lot of people are not showing kindness. That is why things are, everybody is trying to extort, exploit, cheat, or undercut and take advantage. If only people were more kind, or kind as it were, people will not be trying to, take undue advantage of people. Be honest and have integrity and try to help.
When you show kindness, you're actually helping yourself, because other people will do it for you. They do it for your children. That you yourself, you sit down, how did you deserve this? So being kind is being godly. Being kind is being spiritual. Being kind is leadership that God has given to you from heaven.
Stakeholders share their personal encounters about kindness.
I was traveling from Lagos to Onitsha, and in the wee hours of the night, I had a flat tire somewhere in Ugoneki in Delta State. And an old man who was coming from the stream with towel on his neck walked up to me and asked me what the problem was. I told him. He asked me to follow him to his house where I passed the night. He had to send his children to go and change my tires, bring my car to his house, to sleep in his house, and I continued my journey following day, without expecting anything from me and never knowing me from Adam. And I've never forgotten that man.
I had a daughter, of course, even though we lost her this year, a daughter that was sick for about 11 years. We were looking for funds in order to take her abroad for surgery, and we were looking for funds. Then behold, God touched one person, and just from nowhere, God made it so possible. He came and he made a very huge donation for us.
It was rainy that day. I was shivering, seriously. So, and there was a spot I got to. A very old woman saw me shivering, and she called me. She gave me very hot mai that I ate that day. And up to today, I've not forgotten the mai. I've not forgotten the woman. I've not forgotten the spot. So, about many years later, I went back to that same place, and they told me that the woman had passed on. The woman had passed on, but her kindness has not passed on.
What is expected of individuals during this period?
Somebody he did wrong to you. You are expecting him. He is expecting you to fight back, and you just turn as if nothing happened. It's another way of what? Showing kindness, because you don't want to upset him, or you don't want to offend him, or you don't want him just to forgive him. It's kindness. So it is a word of doing good to others and accepting them the way they are.
The theme for the year 2024 highlights the collective power of kindness and encourages everyone to participate in spreading good across the globe. Rosemary Mortile Bilal, NTA News.
Many thanks, Rosemary, for sharing kindness. Imagine having access to a vast virtual library of computing resources available anywhere, anytime. That's the fascinating world of cloud computing. In this special report, Toibat Anifowoshe examines this technology and its potential, especially on businesses in Nigeria.
Unlike traditional computing, which relies on local machines for storage processing and software, cloud computing stores and processes data over the internet using a network of remote servers. Cloud computing is believed to have been invented by an American psychologist and computer scientist, Joseph Carl Robert Licklider, in the 1960s, with his work on ARPANET to connect people and data from anywhere at any time. Today, experts say that cloud computing is dominating the technological landscape with the potential to enhance operations for businesses in Nigeria.
Cloud computing has the advantage of helping businesses to leverage on the experiences of other similar businesses in other climes, in other countries, in other economies. Cloud computing enables businesses to plug into big data sets that have over time been filled up from algorithms or from time series analysis of critical business data. Okay, and then when businesses are able to plug into some of these data sets, it helps them to optimize their own business processes. Take, for example, a small business here in Nigeria plugs into a software as a service in the cloud, and then the software comes with add-ons that enable them to access data that has been used over time for certain business case scenario, and then that helps that business in Nigeria to optimize or streamline their processes in a way that brings them the highest profitability.
The technology also comes with its challenges.
And the major challenge with cloud computing is security. Okay, and as much as evolves around artificial intelligence, machine learning, and every other technological advancement in the area of communication and information technology, security is a serious challenge. Cloud computing, since it relies on information that have been used over time, also some of this information can be subject to biases that pose a threat to business intelligence and then business development as well. So,
although experts say that cloud computing has a lot of advantages, however, overdependence on internet connectivity can limit control and increase costs in the long run. In Abuja, Toyiba Anifowoshe, NTA News.
Let's now join our sports desk for Sports Brief.
CAF appoints Issa SY as center referee for Benin vs Nigeria. Benin seeks redemption after 3-0 loss. A draw will qualify Nigeria for Morocco competition. The match kicks off Thursday at Felix Bonnet Stadium, Cote d'Ivoire. Nigeria Super Eagles are confident that securing a positive result, Benin's cheaters aim to capitalize on home advantage. Bendel Insurance, Plateau United penalized with points deduction, dropped to bottom of league table. Benin Arsenal now last, Plateau United 15th. The points deduction stems from breaches of NPFL frameworks and rules. League organizers enforce strict regulations to maintain competitive integrity. Lastly, Nigeria's Aruna Quadri remains 21st in ITTF rankings despite WTT Frankfurt's round of 16 finish. Quadri defeated Harimoto 3-2, then lost to Ricardo Walter 3-2. Quadri's performance showcases Nigeria's growing table tennis prowess. With Sports Brief, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 1. We thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of our programs. We have more news at 7. Good afternoon.